All right, guys, welcome back to another episode of Baba's Automotive. On this show, we like to shine a spotlight on our blue and white collar workers that go out there every day and make life easier for each of us. Today, we have a reappearing guest. If you go look at the first episode of Baba's Automotive Interviews, he has blessed us with that first interview. We have today father, mobile mechanic, entrepreneur, Joseph Wyatt back again, guys. Thank you, Joe, for joining us.
All right. Hello, everyone.
Hello, everyone. That's the Facebook call here.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right, Joe. So I got a few questions right here that I want to ask, and we're gonna get straight to the point. These are questions I'm going to ask, but also like off camera, it's a little bit more organic. So if you ever want to interject, I'm gonna try my best to kind of sit back, learn my lesson, and let the interviewee talk.
Oh, yeah, go with the flow, yeah.
So one of the first questions I got is, what does it take to grow a business, to own a business, to grow a business now that you in it, right? You in it now. You've been to the companies. Now you out here, you in the mud. What does it take to grow a business?
What it takes to grow a business is wearing multiple hats. So for example, when I worked at the dealerships, I worked for Chevrolet for over 12 years as a full line tech. Worked my way up from oil changing to a full line top tier technician. When I worked at the dealership, all I had to do was sit in the bay, sit with my car lift, do the car work, and write up invoices. That's the only hat I had to wear. I didn't have to cover the service writer aspect. I didn't have to cover the parts retriever aspect. I did not have to do management. I did not have to do communications. So me working at the dealership, yes, I made a lot less money or whatever. But I understand why a lot of technicians, older technicians, when I worked at the dealership, I used to wonder, like, why are they not out here hustling and being entrepreneurs or whatever? It's the headache of it. And I'm just going to be honest. You have to wear a lot of hats. You make more money, but you earn that money that you make versus, you know what I'm saying, working for somebody and owning your own business. It's hard, you know, so you have to be a great communicator. You have to not take things personal that customers say. Because one thing as a mobile mechanic or any business owner, or anybody in general or whatnot, you are going to be judged. You can't be mad at a client for judging you. You have to dress the part, look the part, talk the part, and stay on top of everything. Communication is key. You have to communicate to the customer. And I know it's hard giving anybody, especially your clients or whatever, in this situation or whatever, bad news. You have to be a business owner and communicate regardless if you give good news, bad news, or mediocre news. You have to. You can't just, you can't not answer the phone. You have to communicate and you have to stay on everything. And it's hard, especially when your business is building. Communication gets harder, but focus and organization helps with that or whatnot. Make sure you figure out your wave. Do it the best, what works best for you. If you need your customers to make sure they text message you, or make sure they leave your audio message, or you go through your roster or whatever and see all your missed calls, make sure you do your best to get back to them clients, because you're missing money. When you're not picking up that phone communicating, you're missing money. Even if you're not making money at the moment or whatnot. Let's say you got a client and they just need you to look at the car. Client you've been dealing with 2-3 years, couple of months or whatever, and you're not making a dime off of it. You are making money, because at the end of the day, keeping that client happy is going to keep that customer returning. So like I said, communication is first and foremost, number one. And number two is staying on your word. If you're going to offer a 2-year warranty or a 2-week warranty, or if you say you're going to do this on this day, you make sure you keep that locked in. And I know it's hard, but staying organized will help with that at the end of the day. So, to sum it all up, communication, keeping your word, and just doing the best you can at your craft, no matter what field you in. I'm a great mechanic. I'm not the best, but I can hold my own. So I'm going to do the best I can, turning wrenches and doing what I can. But it takes more than being great in your craft. You have to be well-rounded. And if you're not, you have to work on the aspects that you're weak in and build on those. So yeah, that's pretty much it. What I feel like,
I agree,
just
boss.
getting through it.
I agree.
It's rough.
And what you said about communication, I'm going to agree. What you said about communication, that's really what probably the number one thing.
Ooh,
you said,
man, yes.
You hit on a couple of good things what you just said, man, about the communication. You said you can be a skill, you can be the best mechanic, but if you don't have that communication, then you're not all around. You're not well diverse. Then you don't look that good anymore.
Exactly.
You only good in the shops.
Yeah.
That communication has to carry on into the this outside being an entrepreneur, and being a small business owner. I agree. I definitely agree.
Yeah, because for example, when I worked at the dealership, I knew mechanics that were excellent. I mean, some of the best mechanics I ever met in my life, but they were cavemen when it came to dealing with people. They didn't want to bother with nobody. They wanted to fix the car, write up the paperwork, and go home and live their life. And I understand that. There's a lot of mechanics that I've met in the past working at the dealership over the years that make well over 6 figures a year.
Yeah.
Now me being an entrepreneur, I'm trying to meet that plateau. I'm trying to get to it or whatnot. But it's just what you're good at, and then if you're jumping in any field, if you're in construction or you're in real estate and you're working for a company, pick up that game, pick it all up. Everything that I'm doing here and everything that I'm transitioning to and implementing in my business, I learned from the dealership.
Yes, sir.
The ShopKey Pro format program that shows me how to type up invoices, the financing, dealing with the customers or whatnot, learning how to work on the cars or whatnot, learning how to talk to the customers. All of that stuff I learned from going from shop to shop, and I picked up game or whatnot, and I picked up experience, and I took that experience and put it into the outside world. Even this shirt, a lot of people think that I work at a shop. I don't work at a shop anymore. I order these shirts offline with my logo and my name on it. Like I said, in order to play the part, you have to look the part. And that's not all the time. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people will see through that or whatnot, but this is just icing on the cake.
I agree.
So
I agree. A customer told me that the other day. So for those that don't know, we both mobile mechanics.
And it's hard to, because we just rough natured, so.
And the customers are judgmental. Like you said, though, you look in the part. That makes the customer feel better, because I pulled up in my car and the customer was like, hey man, he was giving me game. He was like, if you pulled up in the truck and this and that, the image of it, just look a little better and deals like that if you pulled up in the truck.
You're already selling yourself.
You selling yourself.
You sold before you even jump out that vehicle. Not all the time, but
You're right, because they're judging you.
But
They're judging you. Customers is judging you at all times. We've been there, we did that. If you're out there, you're mobile, you go into these people's houses, they have to judge you, they have to look at you, they have to critique you. This person is coming to my house. So, but a lot of them do judge you based on what your appearance is when you come in there.
Yeah, and that's very important, yeah. I got a scenario or whatnot earlier today. I had a customer I've been talking to for the last week and a half. I think she got a 2012 Honda, what's this? I can't remember what it was, Honda Accord or something. When she pulled up, I walked up to the vehicle and I kind of felt it was iffy already. And she was looking at me, she was like, where's your shop? I said, right here, man. And this ain't the first lady that didn't told me that, or a person, customer that didn't told me that. And she said, well, I don't feel too comfortable just leaving my car here or whatnot. I said, I'll tell you what, let's just try to figure out what's going on with the vehicle. Let's take it on the test drive. I'll give you a repair cost to let you know what the labor and the parts is going to run. And if you feel comfortable down the line, we'll go ahead and go from there. I locked her in today. I just locked in a $600 job with her today. So that's another thing when I go back to when I said, don't take stuff personal. I could have caught her attitude and told her to drive on. Let your ego go. Stay professional. Unless if a customer or anybody puts their hands on you, that's a different story, And of course, you don't fight back. You call the authorities. But outside of that, don't take it personal. And she's not the only one. I had a couple of clients to take one look at me and they think that, hey, or just because of the environment or area I'm in, they thinking I'm not a professional or don't know what I'm doing. And after 5 minutes, 10 minutes down the line, got them hooked.
Communication. Go back to what you just said in the beginning. The communication is key.
Yeah.
The communication, dang, that's crazy.
Don't let what a lot of clients, or don't let a job that may have went bad, you know, or not 100% to your satisfaction break you. You know what I'm saying? Just keep a good attitude about it. Try your best. Be patient. And oh my God, it takes a lot of patience. From working on the cars to dealing with the customers to hoping that things work out right. Be patient.
Be patient. So, and that brings me to another question of mine, that the second question, and also a statement. I would say dealerships are not wrong in hindsight when I look back at it. You know what I'm saying? Dealerships are not wrong. I used to give dealerships a hard time about their pricing and this and that.
Yeah.
And I come to the conclusion, man, dealerships are really not wrong. And it's because of the things you just said, dealing with those customers and having different hats. And now you got to be the service advisor, you got to be the technician, you got to be the boss, you got to market. Even right now, we both are doing content right now, you know, marketing our companies. And you got cars behind you lined up. You got a Cadillac, 2 Cadillacs, and a Range Rover that you got to fix on. You know, I pulled up, you under the car, basically. You know what I'm saying? So, same with me. I pulled up, and I I popped my trunk because I thought I was coming to work. So, because we so used to that, man.
Yeah.
So we got to wear so many different hats. So, and that was just my question to you: are dealerships wrong in hindsight now that you in this business and have to deal with the customers and deal with all that stuff?
I still salute them to this day. You know, I haven't worked at a dealership for over 4 years. You know, the prices that they charge, the way they handle their business, I do not disagree with it at all, because here's the situation. I always put in my videos, hey, I beat shop prices. I never down shops. I never down dealerships or whatnot. You know why? Because I can afford to beat shop prices. I don't have to pay 15 technicians. I don't have to pay a $2,200 light bill every month. I don't have to pay a $4,500 building bill. The reason that I'm able to cut my prices and save and not do shop markup on the parts and all that is because I can afford to. When I do get to the point where I get my shop, I'm going to have to raise my labor rate from $130 labor hour to $165. It's going to happen. It's still going to be cheaper than a lot of shops, but you can't fault these shops or these dealerships for doing what they have to do and charging what they have to charge. It's still stuff that I take to the dealership to this day. It may be something to where, for example, like this Range Rover, I may put a transmission in there and the transmission has to get programmed. I'll get it towed to the dealership and I'll use their services, you know? So I still salute them and respect them. I had to go get so many parts and so many different cooling hoses for this particular vehicle. Radiator, bypass hose, heater core hoses, stuff that we could not find that we had to get at the dealership, and we had to pay their prices, and we got to respect their prices. So it's all about respect. But far as like downing them or feeling that they doing wrong, they are doing exactly what they're supposed to be doing, and if they wouldn't be in business.
I agree, man.
Now, yeah, they're expensive, yes, but you know, I believe in my heart that they are within reason.
They have to,
and a lot of people do, and there's a lot of people out here in the world and society that believe what I believe too, or they wouldn't be packed, they wouldn't be in business. You know, I just provide the luxury of being able to cut those corners and cut those prices without cutting quality and warranty. That's the benefit of me. That's the benefit of you, sir. You know what I'm saying? So that's just what it all is.
Oh, okay, so what do you think about that, right? So we mobile mechanics, and for mobile, it usually means more convenient. I can come to you, you can drink your coffee, and I'm doing it right. I'm doing it in your yard.
Yeah.
Shouldn't we be charging more though?
We should, but you know, we got to go with the flow. That's just what it is. It's just one of those written rules that we just can't fight against. Even like, for example, I mean, I didn't pull motors and transmissions right here, right in this driveway. It's going to take me longer because I had to lay on this concrete and do it. I got to work against a hill, against a slope. So in order for me to get all that stuff done or whatever, I got to work harder and I got to charge less. So that's just what it is. You know, and it doesn't make sense. It'd be backwards. We should charge more as mechanics, you know, because we're working harder, but we have to respect the game. We have to respect everything. So,
all right, my next question will be, are you seeing more mobile mechanics, and is that good or bad? Because I'm seeing a lot of more mechanic, you know, when I search Google, you know, I'm on
Yeah.
social media. Are you seeing the same? And do you think that's good or bad?
I think that's good, because I look at it like this. If you get a certain amount of mechanics that's just trying to veer from working at shops and working at dealerships and just go out in the world and be entrepreneurs, the mechanics that are left at the dealerships and the mechanics that are good and are left at the shops or whatnot to work or whatever, or choose to work at dealerships or shop, are going to be respected more. It's a supply and demand situation. So the less you have of something, the more you're going to value it. That's just, and it's going to change the market. Maybe they'll start raising, mechanics, labor rates up. Maybe they'll start giving more incentives and benefits and, better insurances and stuff like that, overall. The situation with Ford, I forgot who the CEO was, but he was complaining about all the bays that was loose or whatnot. Just, I can't remember the exact number. It said over 5,000, 6,000 bays. I think way more than that or whatever mechanics that they had shortage of just in the Ford industry. Now, at the end of the day, he knows what he has to do. He has to compensate these mechanics more. And that's one reason a lot of mobile mechanics are coming out of the woodworks. I think it's good for us. And I think mechanics should take a stand because this stuff is not easy. This is not easy work. So yeah, the more entrepreneurs, the more mobile mechanics out here, or the more people out here just veering off from companies and shops and dealerships and starting their own thing, salute to you, And then at the end of the day, it's too much work for all of us. It is too much work.
I agree.
We just got to find it, So
market.
Yeah,
just
exactly.
Put yourself, people just don't know you. That's the only, for the new mechanics is getting out there. That's the new mobile mechanics, to touch on that sub, just giving the game to the new mobile mechanics coming out there. That's the only reason why you're not getting work right now.
Yeah.
Nobody know that you fix on cars. Social media. That's the only reason, like, people are begging for you to work on their cars. It's shops full right now. Go past any shop and it's full, unless they just charge it too high or just bad service. Mechanics out here is needed. We live in a county where it's 1 million people, probably 2 to 3 cars per household. That's probably 2 million.
And it's only going to get worse. It wasn't this bad 3 to 5 years ago. It's a lot of people moving. It's a lot of calls that I get. Oh, I just moved from Canada. I just moved from Miami. I just moved from California. I moved from New York. You know how many calls I get from different states?
And how they finding you?
Facebook, Instagram. I haven't even made my website yet or put out my flyers yet. So, and I'm still getting hits, left and right. So the demand is out there.
Demand is out there. Yeah. They just don't know you out there. That's the only reason you are not getting work right now. They don't know you out there.
And that's in a lot of fields.
Social media, put yourself out there. I was slacking on social media for a minute. I thought this stuff was fake. Like I said, I put a little advertisement out there and I started getting customers. So now I know that it's real. Put yourself out there. And anytime I ever put my social media, and this is game, anytime you got to treat this like TV. You got to put your money where your mouth is, put your money behind yourself. And these social media platforms have it to where you can boost your posts and put, advertise yourself out there.
Yeah.
That is going to come back. You're not paying for followers. You're paying, you're paying $20 to get 200 customers potential. And that money, I guarantee you, well, for me, it definitely came back 1,000 times. You put like $50 up there, man. You know how many customers are going to be calling you. This is Instagram. I think Facebook also have that function.
Don't be afraid of that investment. Don't be afraid to invest, because it's going, like you said, it's going to come back tenfold. You're right about that.
Don't be afraid to invest and put that money behind you. You've been doing some investment lately, right? Like changing up the company, switching up different things.
I purchased, I think I got an editor. She's in the Philippines. I had her for about 1.5 years. She's been helping me out a lot with my videos, everything. All the content she's been putting out. I'm about to move up to the next package, which is going to get me my website. And then it's going to get me more posts throughout the week, which is going to help out a lot. She's going to put me on Google Maps, which is going to help out even more. And then when I get my website, I'll be able to have clients book, inspections, appointments, and all that, whatever I need on my website. Not only that, but when I get my website, I'm going to get certified to be a certified emissions inspector or whatever. So I can have people pull up to my location and get a free emissions test. That's coming in the next couple of months.
There you go.
No obligations, no nothing. You don't have to pay the
You're giving them
$25,
too much. You're giving them
$30.
too much.
Yeah, because out of 5 people that I do emissions tests for, I know at least 2 of them is going to come back for a repair.
Wow.
It's just giving people that convenience.
So give a shout out to the lady, you remember her name, for the do the editing and stuff? Because I started
I think her name, I can't pronounce her name, I murder her every time, but her name is Solomon or whatever. She lives in the Philippines. Never met her, but I've been dealing with her for the past 1.5 years. She does great work. So what I do is I just take little clips and I just send them to her, and she takes it from there. She asks me what year, make, and model the vehicle is, and you know, a few questions what I might want to put on that particular vehicle, and she takes it from there.
Cool.
Yep. She does websites also. She does QR codes. She does business cards. I mean, some of everything. But yeah, definitely. I can send you that.
We're gonna put a name and number on there. Give me a contact, and we'll put it on here so everybody can know.
Matter of fact, I met her through a client or whatever. I put a motor in a 2016 Audi about 2 years ago, I think. Yeah. And the lady that owned the Audi referred me to her or whatever, referred her to me or whatnot. And me and Solomon been locked in ever since.
And talk about that, man, the networking.
Man, that networking, dude.
Yeah, you see how you just said.
You don't think it'll work.
Yes, sir.
It works, man.
The networking works. The networking works. You meet so many people, and people don't know. I really, believe it or not, I really don't be talking that much. I'm in the garage. I'm by myself, me and my family, and deals like that. So, like we said in the beginning, being an entrepreneur, you got to be out there, communicate, and it has its good and its bads, right?
Yeah.
Sometimes when I'm working on the car, honestly, I'm trying to get the work done. I really don't want to talk.
It's hard,
You know, it's hot outside. I'm trying to get the work done and go, because I could do a brake job, front and rear, pads and rotor, a good hour if nobody talking to me.
Yeah.
I seen it the other day, or hour 15, hour 20, you know, but if someone's talking to me, that's going to go to 1:40 to 2 hours.
Yeah.
So it has its good and its bad with the communication and the networking and stuff like that. But when you do have those times to just open up and slow down, you will get a lot of good gain from these customers you meet, and they will introduce you into other good people along the way that you guys may be doing business and you'll never know of.
Yeah, because a customer will give you feedback without you, you know, and you just got to pick up on it, you know. Some customers, I'm just going to be honest, they just a-holes. Some of them, you know, I done dealt with, you know, real rude people all the way to super patient and sweethearted customers, you know. But all of them, you know, back and forth from A to Z and in between, they'll all teach you something, you know. And I done had customers that give me criticism, didn't give it to me the way that I liked it, but I took the criticism and I thought back, you know, I'm like, they was right. I didn't like the delivery, but I cannot argue with the message. So just dealing with the customers, dealing with everything, you just get better at it. You know what to tune out, you know what to pick up on, you know where your weaknesses are, you know where you're strong at, you know, so you just become a better business owner and build character.
I agree.
And that, like I said, it's rough, but me keeping up on my appointments and making sure I'm getting back with people, I am working on getting better with that. Picking up the phone, no matter how busy I am.
You kind of mobile and non-mobile now. So I'm gonna ask you, mobile or not mobile? What do you choose?
I like not mobile. And the reason, like I said, I still am mobile, but I cut that down to a small percentage of my business. Because a big part, when you're mobile all day and you're 100% mobile, 70% of the job is getting to the location. It's a lot of work packing up, getting here, getting there. So basically my business, I'm trying to narrow it down, and I haven't done that yet, but I'm trying to get to the point to where the only thing I go out and do is diagnostics. And then I steer the customer over to my location and I handle the work. That's why I've been trying to implement free diagnostic, free emission tests. If I can get them over here, they're going to come back over here. Because once I got them, I know once I get them that information, that free diagnostic or that free emission test, I know that 9 times out of 10, I'll get them to bring the vehicle back over. Now, I don't mind going out and do a diagnostic or whatnot, but I make sure I charge. So that's the balance. You get charged $130 for me to come out just to do the diagnostic, or you can bring the vehicle over here and get it done for free. Your choice. That's fair.
Fair enough.
And honestly, the only thing that customer would be paying for is the inconvenience of me leaving work in my driveway that I have in my driveway majority of the day or all time, you know, or whatnot, and going out there and diagnosing their vehicle. I will do it. But yeah, even that $130 is still a deal, because 9 times out of 10, you'll have to get the vehicle towed to the shop. You're already out of $250 right there on the average. Then that's before the car even gets touched by the mechanic to look at. Then you about another $180 to $260 or whatever for the diag. So by the time you get the vehicle diagnosed, you're about $400 in.
And the fact that you're mobile.
Yes. And you don't have to do anything. That goes back to what we were talking about. You know, it sucks, but it is what it is. You just have to accept some things for what it is. We work harder, we do more, we deal with more stress, but we take less. We take less pay. And it should be the other way around. But, you know, it just is what it is.
And that's why the question was like kind of mobile or non-mobile, because I know if I can just sit at one place,
it would make life so
a lot
much
more
easier.
money.
Yes.
You know, the way I'm turning these brake jobs, when people don't understand, you got to go 30 minutes to this job, 40 minutes to this job, 20 minutes to this job. You know, going and having complications along the way. We're going to get into that a little bit later, the complications that we have. I got a flat tire while going to
That's not, you're right. That's not even factoring in, for example, if you got the wrong parts, or if a boat want to break on you or seized up and you can't get it out. That one little situation can trip up your whole day. You may be on your 3rd appointment or 2nd appointment for the day, and the other 3 you can't make it to. Now you got 3 other pissed off customers, and you got a whole situation going on. So it's rough as a mobile mechanic. It's way harder. And I kind of think of it when I worked at the dealership, I was getting spoon fed. I didn't have to do nothing but stand there and wait on the service writer to hand me a piece of paper. That's it. All I had to do was walk 20 feet down to the parts department or whatever and put the order in for the parts. Now we got to drive 5 miles on the average to go get one part, or 2 miles to the parts store. And if they don't have it, we got to go to the next one. So every aspect of this business, being an entrepreneur, is harder versus, you know, and like I said, I see why a lot of mechanics stick at shops and at dealership, because it's just easier. Life is easier. But nothing that's worth it is going to come easy. So
I agree.
I'm willing to go through it.
I agree, man. I'm thinking about scaling also, man. And talk about that. That was probably one of the closer to the last questions about scaling and getting our own business and doing it like that. You know, now that we've been out here being mobile, we've been in the shops, we have all the game.
Oh,
do you see yourself having your own shop? I know you mentioned that. But how do you see that? You know what I'm saying?
I see myself.
And how long?
I see myself having my own shop, hopefully by the end of year 2027, beginning of 2028, I plan on having my own location. You know,
strong.
In the perfect world, I'm not sure exactly how everything is going to be mapped out, but 1 or 2 acres of land, a building, you know, put a building up on it, get it on a, you know, buy-zoned area, something that's residential and commercial zone, where you can zone a, you know, neutral zone. Then I work it from there. Because having a location is going to be 10 times easier than doing this stuff mobile or out your driveway. You know, for example, here I only got so many vehicles that I can work on, versus if I got a location, I can do about 20, 30 of them and just have them sitting there. It just makes the flow a lot easier.
So you can see yourself as a business owner.
Oh, yes.
Now that you went through the ringer, basically, you can see
this yourself. The hard part.
Right.
Transitioning.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Now, I salute any person that I know that has transitioned from being a mobile mechanic or working out their home to owning the shop. I salute you, because it's not easy. And I feel like this, by the time you go through the fire and the ringer or whatever, and you do get your location, it's going to be 10 times easier. I don't have to roll on the ground and pull out parts. I don't have to do it in the rain. I don't have to do it in the cold. I can do it on car lifts. And instead of having, you know, 1 or 2 cars in my driveway, I can have 6 cars lined up on the lifts. Boom, 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 boom. Work it out. Make it work. So that's Light at the end of the tunnel, I guess, you
The
know?
light at the end of the tunnel. And that, okay, so, and we're talking about owning our own businesses, and I'm gonna back it up a little bit just for us mobile mechanics.
Uh-huh.
Do you see mobile mechanics making more than doctors? I don't know if I put that on the last one, but do you see us making more than doctors soon? Because doctors get about 250K, 200K, 150K. Do you see that? I mean, they even making 100K in the shops, deals like that. But, you know, I'm talking about the anesthesiologist type deal, 300K as mobile. Or do you think we need to sit down for that?
I don't think I'm gonna see it, and the reason why, because it goes very back to the market. I think it'd be hard pressed for a mobile mechanic to make more than a decent paid technician at a dealership. You know,
Okay.
It's hard for a mobile mechanic to make six figures. It is. If you're making 60, 70 grand or more, you're doing really good as a mobile mechanic. But I can see a mobile mechanic making six figures. I can, 100,000 or better, before taxes. It's just how you apply yourself. You have to be organized. You got to be mentally disciplined. You got to stay on your goal.
So do you see a future for mobile mechanics then?
Oh yeah. Yes, definitely. I definitely think it's worth the field. That's if you got the energy, you got the prep in you and the pep in you, and you enjoy it enough. But you have to have enough passion, and you have to enjoy enough being a mobile mechanic.
You see that as a young man game?
Yes, definitely. Yes.
Young man game.
But when my opinion, any mobile mechanic, no matter how young you are, you're going to hit an amount of years or a certain amount of time to where you be like, you know what, I done had enough of this. It's time for me to get a shop. So all you can do is just have enough passion in it to enjoy your run as a mobile mechanic. And you're going to get to a point to where you're like, you know what, no, it's time for me to get a location. Or it's time for me to start buckling down at the house, But yeah, it's definitely worth the market. It's definitely worth it. As far as them making much as doctors making, those are the elites. If you making about 200,000 a year as a mobile mechanic, you one of the mobile mechanic elites, baby. You top tier. But it's doable. It's doable.
How do you balance your personal and your work life? Because us as entrepreneurs out here, small business owners, we never really get to sleep again because of the stuff we're talking about, the marketing, the promotion. Well, you got a little help. You got the help with the.
And I'm trying to find more help. Yeah, with the editor. Okay. I'm trying to find more help. But you know what? So basically, you asking how do I balance the personal life and my mobile mechanic business?
Yeah, is there any balance? Do you find any time for yourself?
I'm still
personal
trying.
Life to where you can sit back and you can chill. You want to go fishing and you want to go, time to yourself. How do you going to how? Exactly.
You either force a day in and just say I'm not going to make money this next day or 2 or 3 days, and you stick to it, or you set yourself a schedule and stick to that schedule. You have to be strong enough to stick to that schedule.
It's hard to stick to the schedule.
So for example, let's say you're a mobile mechanic or whatnot, and you want to work from, let's say you set your hours from 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. Monday through Friday. You tell yourself, I'm going to work these amount of hours Monday through Friday, and no matter what happens, I'm shutting it down. I'm not going to work Saturday or Sunday. You have to stick to that. When that $300 break job calls in, be like, I'll come to your house. It'll take 45 minutes. You have to be strong enough to say no. Monday at 9 a.m. That's the hardest part. That's how you manage your time. You stand on your word and you do it for yourself. And even if you might miss that money, it's a gamble. You rolling the dice. That customer be like, all right, cool, I'll wait until Monday. Or you might miss that $300. But regardless of what happened, you have to stand on it. That's how you manage your time. You draw the line and you don't cross it. You stay on schedule, and it's hard. Yes, it's hard. You make a quick $450 or whatever in 2 hours, and the bill is due or whatever. You have to be strong enough to be like, no, I'm about to call their bluff. Tell them to wait until Monday. Today's Saturday. They're going to have to wait until Monday. And you hoping they hold out to Monday for you. But you got to stand on your word. And it gets easier because within that time frame, for example, like I said, from 9 a.m. to 6 p.m., 5 days a week, you're going to learn how to work that time and utilize that time and not waste a minute of it and get the best out of that 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. that you can. You'll train yourself. And that's what I'm still working on, you know? So that's how you do it. That's how you keep that balance.
I agree. That's what I'm working on.
Especially if you got a
also.
family, you know, at home, you know, it's hard. You want that little extra 2 hours to spend with your child, or just go home and watch a movie or something, you know. Set a schedule, stick to it. That's the best advice I can give you. Do not jump out of it for nothing.
I agree, man. It's hard to balance. It's hard to balance, man, because like I say, the bills are going to keep coming.
Yeah.
You want to take a day off, but, you know, even if you're taking a day off, the customers are going to keep calling.
Yeah.
So you're going to have to ignore these customers. You're going to have customers might text you back. Oh, he's rude. You're rude for not, you know, if they don't see your social media, your business hours, they might think you rude. So even when you're not working, you may find yourself working. And just say the days you do have off. Days I have off, I got to do content now.
Yeah.
You know, we got to work on this content now. You know, we're in that age right now, we're working on content. But I agree with what you said. You got to just find a schedule and really stick to it if you really want that balance. And I'm working on that myself also.
Yeah. And like you just mentioned or whatever, like, for example, you said, you know, you still got to do a little content or answer a call. Yeah, now when I say draw the line, I don't mean 100% stop doing everything in your business. Just whatever is, be like, hey, I'm not going to turn any wrenches after these hours, but after these hours, I'll answer a 5-minute call and get something booked or whatever. Or I'll take 30 minutes to do my content. That's not really work. You can go to the beach with your family and then type on the computer real quick and, you know, handle your business or whatnot. You can work that in or whatever without sacrificing your peace of mind and your time with your family or with yourself. You still can do that.
Mental health.
Yeah.
Because that mental health.
When it comes to it, we all,
Yes, sir.
And that's thing, as a mobile mechanic or any business owner, you're already stressed out enough here. You already have the pressure of making sure you get these vehicles out the door and get them done right. You got people's lives in your hand. Anything can happen. We touch a lot of stuff, you know, so it's just stressful in that. But there's a lot of stressful aspects in being a business owner, and you just got to do the best you can and take your time. But yeah, just keeping that balance or whatnot, it will keep your sanity.
Keep your sanity, man, and slowing down, like you're saying, because like we was alluding to earlier.
I learned that myself.
It could be a lot of complications out here, because I was on the way to a brake job. My tire went flat. Now, I had not just any tire. I had the spare tire on because I thought I was just good. You know, I got my tire got flat one time. I put the spare on. Driving the spare on to the appointment. This was another day. Driving to appointment with the spare on. The spare went flat.
Yeah.
And I'm on the way to appointment. Going back to the communication you have to deal with, you know, and the complications we're gonna have to deal with. Sometimes your own car will give out on you.
Yeah.
Dealing with
I had that situation a few times with my truck, and it's rough. Life happens. And, you know, you just got to roll with the punches. But like you said, you know, just communicating. And one of the hardest things for me to do is call a customer with bad news. Regardless if it's my fault or not, it's hard for me to call a customer and give them bad news. As a person and a human being and my character, I hate giving people bad news.
And the way I found out you do it fast. Fast, get it over with as far as delivering the bad news.
Yeah. It's not as bad as you think it is once you get through it. It's kind of like, but it's a part of the game.
Because most customers are understanding.
Yeah.
Most of them are understanding.
I hate that, and I hate writing up paperwork. I hate paperwork, but it just has to be done, you know, so.
Do we need a organization, and what that organization consists of, meaning just like far as the mechanic field, we need some like type of organization for this mechanic field, you feel like the unions and deals like that?
Yes. Oh, yes. We definitely need organization and support. We need more communities that's helping each other out. The only community that we have in general, and it's sad to say, I hate to say it, which I love YouTube, but YouTube, you know, that one mechanic that's posting that video, and I don't care how experienced you is as a mechanic, that one mechanic that may be posting that video on how to get this bolt out quicker or just trick or get this out in and out faster without tearing up nothing. You don't know how many thousands of mechanics then watch that 1 15-second little part of that video and it just saved their life. So we need more communities and more people, you know, out here that's willing to just help out people, you know? So yeah, we need more unity, more unions or whatever. How to go about it, I don't know. But, you know, for example, when I do get my shop location or whatever, on the weekends, on Sundays or whatever, maybe one Sunday out the month, I'm going to put out flyers and I'm going to, you know, market myself to where people come out, you know, for example, or whatever. I supply all the materials or whatnot. You get on the roster or whatever, you book the appointment, you come in, and I'm going to teach, you know, hopefully, you know, maybe 10 to 15 students at a time. And all I'm going to show them is how to inspect the vehicle that they're buying and how to change their oil. Just basic stuff. Things to do if like your coolant ends up leaking or your oil end up leaking. You don't know how many situations I done had people out in the public just because they had a little fluid leak, they didn't blew their engine. I want to play my part, and I want to create that type of union or that type of organization that's just going to help the community from blowing their motors or buying lemons. Just do my part. So, for example, that's stuff that we need more out in society because a lot of people don't care, you know. So just helping out that next person, because I done watched a few videos of mechanics that didn't have to post what they did and saved my ass on certain situations. And it wasn't because I was a good or bad mechanic. It's just because I did not go through that learning curve on that particular vehicle or know the actual procedure to doing this exact thing. I don't care how experienced you are as a mechanic, how cold you are or whatever. There is stuff that you don't know. And this is, it even goes to expert mechanics. No mechanic has seen every boat, every car, every repair, every situation. No mechanic. No mechanic on this earth has not went without making a mistake.
And that's good.
Unless if it's Jesus with a wrench. I don't want to hear it.
That's real. That's real.
We need more unity. We need to stick together. Mechanics need to stick together. And then mechanics need to stop cutting each other's throat. Even if they know the other mechanic messed up, stop putting their name bad out there.
Yes, sir.
Other mechanics, like, I done had so many situations where other mechanics then, you know, messed up stuff where they may have rushed or it wasn't even their fault. And they'll take it to the shop. And the shop or whatever, down talk whoever just to try to win that customer. You don't have to do that. There's plenty of work out here for all of us. There are too many vehicles to fix out here. Customer, you do that by doing a good job. I done had plenty of cars come from other mechanics or situations, and I never talk down on them because we all done messed up.
I agree.
But we need more unity though. We need, and not only mechanics, the public. You know, like I said, I want to do classes, you know, summer classes or whatever, you know, 4 or 5 week programs, you know, 6 week programs or whatnot, just to teach the youth. I want to do little monthly classes or whatever to teach, you know, the community or whatever, just how to inspect the vehicle, just basic stuff, what to look for. If they got $5,000, $6,000 or they got a little bit of money to go to a used car lot or go to a personal owner, I need to show them what to look at. You need to pay attention to this sound or this smell or how this drives or what this does. It may save them thousands. You know, it may save them buying a lemon. It may save them from having to purchase a new transmission or motor. Just basic knowledge. So, yeah, we need that. As far as like unions and, you know, just help, that's the type of stuff we need. People need to create more programs like that. So,
hey, and maybe we'll do that, man.
Yeah.
Hey, that concludes our interview. Thank you, Joe, for allowing me to interview you today, boss.
All right, no problem at all.